What's going on, my plant peoples? I am the ADHD gardener, where I use gardening houseplants as a form of horticultural therapy and learning life skills about ADHD, sobriety, and all that fun stuff. And speaking of which, this video is all about horticultural therapy practices, techniques, and creating an action or a treatment plan for myself. I will always be talking about gardening and plants and everything like that, but for real, I need to get organized, and I cannot afford therapy. I am not a therapist, so that means I need to do a lot of research and tap into all of my learning past skills just to make this happen. I am not a therapist. I am not a licensed psychologist. I am none of that things. The only license I have is registered nurse, and I no longer practice that. But that means, though, when I was practicing, I was, creating or writing up some treatment plans for my patients, which means like we're going to come up with a goal. What do I expect that outcome to come about, and then how we're going to get there? So I'm tapping into that. I'm also tapping into my future career goals, which of course I'm going back to school for horticulture therapy. I will be linking a bunch of cool videos down in the description below for future other references in case you want to go check that out. Also the links to these books if you want to go check it out. So do not take all of my information as gospel, because it's not, because I am not a therapist, but we're going to be learning together because I need to get my stuff together. I'm reading straight out of the book. What is horticultural therapy? Goals of the programs differ, but the basic premise behind horticultural therapy is that working with and around plants bring positive psychological and physical changes that improve the quality of life for the individual. Hopefully this therapeutic program that I'm putting myself on and creating for myself, which makes no sense, but I'm hoping to hopefully modify my behavior, hopefully improve a lot of things. So in the book, it's always saying, first of all, we need to assess the patient or the client, okay? I am the client. What are my needs? What are my goals out of this therapeutic program that I'm trying to get into? What are my goals? So I need to assess what are my problems, my issues, and my needs. Modify my behavior, hopefully improve a lot of things, which brings me to the first one. So going through my own assessment of myself, I have pinpointed 5 different needs or places, areas of improvement that I would like to work on. Notice this is going to be tailored to ADHD individuals such as myself. I am combined type ADHD, so I had the best of both worlds. And, I got a lot to work on. In doing my own assessment, just to assess what are the needs, concerns, and problems or issues that I'm having with myself, then we can possibly create a care plan or a treatment plan around. So the first need that I am looking for is to be more organized. I need to be more organized. I need it. I desperately need it. The second issue that I want to work on is memory. I need to remember stuff. I have so much stuff floating in my mind. I have so much information floating in my mind. It's very hard to remember basic normal tasks. So I need to tackle that one. The next one is pay more attention, Jack. Pay more attention. How in the world can I learn how to pay more attention? That's on the list. The next one is, of course, anger and mood regulation. I mentioned anger and mood regulation is because generally ADHD people have emotional dysregulation. That means our moods are all over the damn place. I could be happy, sad, everything is extreme. So that means if I'm really happy, I'm really happy. And if I'm really mad, I'm really pissed off. So I need to learn some chill, okay? And the last one is increase my self-esteem, because I'm working on my inner child and I really need to go boost my own self-esteem. Being that one was the last one, I know that the self-esteem that will increase over time due to all of this, hopefully, treatment program. So what does it involve? If you've been watching for this long, so far so good, you have a great attention span and you are trucking along just well. This video may not be exciting for everybody, but this is absolutely necessary. If you really struggle with ADHD like I do, or anything else like that, man, this is really, really beneficial. And again, I'm not a therapist. I'm just practicing on myself because I can't afford therapy. So hopefully I can learn a little thing or two about, some stuff. Okay, for example, if the problem number 1 issue that I have is being more organized, then I'm gonna tailor a treatment plan just so I can help reach that goal of becoming more organized. Now, I don't know how to do that because I am not organized and I don't know what I'm doing. But based on my research and learning, I have come up with a few ideas or ways how I can get to becoming more organized. And a few things I came up with. 1, everything needs a place in a spot. I'm dead serious. Because if it doesn't have a place or spot, it's going to be floating in the ethos, and then I don't know where it is. Next thing you know, I got a big pile of clothes somewhere or a big pile of mess somewhere because it doesn't have somewhere to go. Then next thing you know, you got a bunch of stuff piled up everywhere, and then you don't know where it goes because it doesn't have a home. So everything needs a place. Being that I'm always in my plant room and I'm always looking for certain supplies in this particular room, that container or that place, that spot is going to be in this room. It has to be in this room because I'm always looking for that specific tool in this room. So you're going to put that container, that place, that spot for your stuff is going to be in that area that you're always frequenting. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because that's what I'm trying to implement. If it's not perfect, it's okay. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to work for you. For example, when Jose comes into my plant room and he's freaking out because it doesn't look as organized as he would do it, it's not for him. It's for me. So that means you're going to tailor your needs based on you and how you need it. Not how Jose needs it, because his ass ain't going to use it. I'm going to be using it. Anxiety is a reflection of our chaotic mind. Our home is a reflection of that chaotic mind. So if we look at the root cause of it all, is anxiety. Why is it anxiety ridden? It's because our house is so unorganized and cluttered. Once we put everything back in its place, hopefully the decluttering will happen, and then it would reduce the anxiety, which means we would be less chaotic in our mind. See how that works? The next one, how can I remember? I need to remember a lot of the stuff that's floating around in my mind. I'm juggling a lot of stuff. I'm juggling the outdoor garden, the indoor garden, the YouTube, my school, my home life, my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health. Like, come on, what's up with this? This does play into the first one of being more organized, because you will forget where you put something. But if you remember where the place is, then you can always check the place. But for other stuff like thoughts or notes or mental, anything throughout the day, memory. Now, normally you would write it down so you don't forget. But what if you forget that piece of paper, or you lose the notebook, or you forget where it is? That's where I came up with writing notes on my wall. Yes, I know, notes on the wall. I can't lose my wall, right? So I found some dry erase wallpaper. There is some dry erase paint. Now, if I did that on my walls, that means if I, God forbid, I lose something, I lose my notebook, I lose all my notes or the things I need to do today, it's on the wall. And I can't lose that because it's got its own place, like the first one. It's all good. What do you have to remember on the regular? Is there stuff that you always have to think about in the back of your mind? That is what you're gonna write down on the wall or on the dry erase, because that's something that floats all the time. Have you checked on your plants, indoor, outdoor? Do they need watering, weeding, or do they need help? Are you running out of tools and supplies? Did you spray preventative organic pesticides? Did you care for your compost pile? And then I'm gonna add a few more on there. These are the daily questions that I ask myself all the time and that I keep forgetting, or I don't remember because I have a bunch of other stuff on my mind. So if you write it down, then you can at least not have to worry so much about it, because you don't have to worry about remembering what you needed to do because it's written down. This is very, very, very hard. Okay, so I understand your struggle because your struggle is my struggle. The next one, paying attention. How do I create goals or a treatment plan around paying attention? How do you get someone to pay more attention? If it's one thing I've learned, I actually learned it through Bible reading, it was slow to speak. Now, if I really think about that, slow to speak. Now, why is that? Well, one, our ADHD brains always are quick, way too fast. Sometimes we need to pump the brakes, slow down, so we can get a chance to process our information. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Who are you telling? But this is why I need to remind myself that we need to slow down. How can we slow down? That's a good one. How are we gonna slow down? It's hard, I know. We miss details when we pass over too fast. Absolutely. That happens to me all the time. I miss small details because I'm rushing right through it. We gotta slow down, we gotta chill, however you're gonna do that. Now, depending on however you wanna chill out and relax or slow down, deep breathing is an awesome way and I know deep breathing, it sucks, but it does work. There is studies, and it really does work because I've tried it, and it does. It gives us a chance to slow down just a few seconds, to catch that breather, to catch our initial first thought, which is usually pretty crappy, and then we have time to just kind of regulate ourselves. And from there, then we can proceed through. If you do meditation, I'm all about prayer. So let's just find a way to slow down our mind a little bit and then get to the task. Sometimes you need to exercise the mess out of yourself so you can slow down. Sometimes you need to hit that dopamine and just scroll for a few minutes. Once you get that out of your system and then you go, all right, I'm bored. That's what I do. Now I'm ready to go. Now that dopamine fix is hit, you already got that fix. Now you're ready to rock and roll. Another one is putting ourselves in that active mindset of mindfulness. I know it's really hard, but we must be aware as to what are the thoughts that are flowing in your mind. If you have an internal monologue, that's what I'm talking about. All those inner thoughts that are floating through your mind, take them captive. This again reminds me of the Bible because it says that in the Bible too. Take your thoughts captive. We have to catch our thoughts in the beginning, right from the rip. As soon as it goes in there, the first thing, catch it and go, oh, whoa, whoa, that's not true. Whoa, I need to slow down, relax. Catch our thoughts, be aware of what thoughts that are flowing through our minds. And if you do drift, it's okay. Just bring your attention right back. It's all good. Our attentions are going to drift. So you cannot beat yourself up for something that you already know is going to happen. Just know that, as soon as you catch yourself, as soon as you become aware that you're drifting, that's it. Just bring yourself right back. Bring yourself right back. And you may have to do that a few times. You may got to do that a few times, but it's about catching yourself and bringing yourself back. That's how we recreate repetitive and better techniques or better, skills. Anger management, mood control. Yeah, that's fun. That is super fun. We all know I have anger issues, lots of them. And those anger issues had led me to sobriety. Yes, because God went like this, smacked me and said, you know what? You got to stop drinking. You need to stop drinking. Because them attitude and the moods and that anger, not a good look. So that means I really even more got to control this mood regulation and this anger. You don't have to have anger. You could have depression. You could have anxiety. I got all of those. How about that? So all of this can really work on mood regulation. Now, how in the world can we do that? Now, one of the goals that I was thinking about, the goal is to decrease the aggressive reaction and promote positivity or a positive thought process or something like that. Again, I'm not a pro. I'm not a pro, obviously, because my wording is not the best, but I will get there as I learn more. How to manage that anger. Let's just say you angry. Something really, really frustrated you, because it happens to me all the time. When we go out in the garden, our garden is going to naturally find a way to relax us, because how can you be mad around in your garden? But even before then, what can we do while we're in the garden to ease ourselves out of all that excess energy from anger, from frustration, from anxiety? It's all pent up in our mind. This is where mindfulness comes into play. This is where paying attention about our own thoughts, capturing them thoughts and becoming aware as to what is being said in our mind. We can think, hey, I'm angry. You damn right I'm angry. I'm angry a lot. So you know what I'm going to do in the garden? Dig a hole. Move stuff. Wear yourself out from the energy. This is how we can do something productive. Go turn your compost, because we all know turning compost is not easy. And frankly, it is labor intensive. So if you have the strength to go turn some compost and keep turning until your ass is tired out, that's a good place to start. We all need to release that energy, but we're going to release it in a productive way. Cattle all of those different type of emotions and put it into somewhere productive. You're going to channel it and put it into that compost. You're going to channel all that energy and go dig a hole, because that's what you got to do. When it comes to all these mood dysregulation, the anxiety, the depression, the sadness, the anger, and all that stuff, this is where we ground ourselves. Now, I know the grounding sounds weird. Trust me, dude, I've been through all this. And I know in the beginning I said, it don't work. It can really, really, really help you. I don't know what the grounding techniques are in order to bring yourself back into reality, but I know it has to do with the 5 senses. So taste, hear, touch, sound, and smell. Those are the ones that are going to ground you into back to reality. So what I do is I like to garden sometimes barefooted. I like to go out there because boy, that nothing will snap you right back into reality than stepping on a twig or stepping on a rock or stepping on chicken crap. Yeah, that'll get you going. And the last one is building self-esteem. Now, I would think that I got some seriously good self-esteem, but then again, ADHD people, we always have struggled with self-esteem and self-worth because of the massive amounts of rejection that we have felt throughout society and the fact that we just don't blend in that well. We stick out like a sore thumb. So there are times where we can feel insecure, we can feel less than, and I'm not feeling that. I am trying to channel and heal my inner child, my inner 12-year-old self that just wanted to be bubbly and happy and weird and frolicking, I know that self-esteem can increase through multiple different ways. And I know that one of them is through caring for something else. Now, I used to care for patients, but no longer I do not do that. But I also have that caring need in bugs. So I'm going to be caring for plants. And to know that I can care for a plant and it feels and it looks better and it's thriving with me, that's going to make me feel better and know that I can do this. Now, don't beat yourself up if those plants die, because that's part of the learning process. And things do die, whether it be your fault or not. It does not have to be your fault if something dies. We can rewire our brains. We can replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. And that's what we're going to try to do. And that's what I'm going to try to do. So those are my goals for this year. I'm going to start a whole playlist on horticultural therapy that I'm going to be using for myself, because I really need therapy. Now, if I can go sober 69 days as of today of me filming, which by the time you see it, it'll probably be like day 70 something. In order to improve or in order to learn something, we need to learn how to hold ourselves accountable for our own actions. And that's where it is. And I know it can hurt. Oh man, it hurts. He hurt my feelings. But really, did they? Or were they just saying the truth? And sometimes the truth can hurt. And I know it can feel like you're offended, or you can feel like they did it out of spite, but is it really? Or is it they're hurting something inside of us that we have just been repressing for so long? Food for thought. I don't know if you like this video or not. Just let me know down in the comments below. Do you struggle? I struggle. I struggle all the time, which is why I really need to I need to be more serious. And the only way that I know to get more serious is to hold myself accountable, which means, in other words, of holding myself accountable, throwing myself on the internet, because that means everyone else can see my accountability. Yeah. Besides, if I want to run this, if I want to make this my future career, I really need to get it. And what not better way to start than start with yourself? That's all I can do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I'm on all platforms. You can always check me out there. You can drop me a message. Tell me your struggles, yo, because I am not the only one. And I know it that you're not the only one either. Until the next episode, you guys, where you and me both are going to be growing our happiness one plant at a time, one day at a time. I'll check y'all later in the next episode. Peace and love.